We are Change.org, and I'm joined by the one and only Sarah Harrison, Director of the Courage Foundation, and we are at today's launch of the Edward Snowden Defense Fund campaign that has been going on for a while, but right now you guys are kickstarting it up again. What can you tell us about the Courage Foundation, and what should people know?
So the Courage Foundation itself was actually just launched today. We have been... Do you want me to hold that?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
We have been running Edward Snowden's defense fund for about a year, paying for his lawyers, legal advice, all those sorts of expenses. We just launched a wider organization, though, that will be able to help not just Edward Snowden, but future Snowdens. That was launched today, along with a campaign for public support for Edward Snowden as his temporary asylum in Russia ends.
Wow. So what is the next step with the Courage Foundation? I know you guys are looking to support other whistleblowers. But as far as what should people know about the campaign, is there any specific goals you guys want to reach?
With regards to the Edward Snowden campaign, we want to show the level of public support. He's at an important time in his asylum claim, his legal situation, and also for the surveillance that he revealed. For example, in Germany, there's an inquiry just starting. Exactly how deep it goes, how well it runs, is still yet to be decided. And so what we're at the point of now is explaining that public pressure really can do something. We want to show the support of the public so that governments will stand by him, and that inquiries that are coming out of the revelations that he disclosed, that those inquiries really take place in a proper manner. So Courage Foundation is about all of that, but we'll also be going forward to fight for whistleblower rights generally around the world.
Now, we saw a lot of people here today speaking to us, whether it was Glenn Greenwald or WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange, and Daniel Ellsberg as well. So there's a lot of amazing people who are behind this incredible project. But I know you as well. You've been very involved with Edward Snowden, especially with helping him getting out of Hong Kong. How was that? Can you tell us anything about that?
It's getting him out of Hong Kong. It was something that I and we believed very strongly in. There were a couple of reasons. One, the United States government is very keen to show examples of what happens if you blow the whistle, if you show government truths, and they really want to set examples. Now, the last example was Chelsea Manning, who was in a cage, ended up actually, whilst we were in Russia, was given her sentence and was put into prison for 35 years. Now, these are the types of examples that the US government is trying to set. They're really trying to say to people, don't do this or you will lose your life. So for me, it was very important that we were able to show that there is another example, that something else can happen, and that also there are people that will stand by you no matter what, no matter what the risks to themselves. And the main goal of this was not just to help Snowden, but really in the hope that there will be other Snowdens and other Mannings that will come forward.
Yeah. Now, I know there's probably a lot of repercussions from the state. What's the worst that you have kind of felt from the U.S. government or the forces that be in repercussion from what you guys are doing?
For WikiLeaks, who I also work for, they actually started up a secret grand jury in 2010 that still continues. It's been rolled over now a number of times. And I think that this just shows that the US government's reaction, if you push boundaries in a very specific way, if you speak truth to power, in a way that you show cannot be stopped, cannot be pressured, they will bring everything down on you. And so they have had this grand jury going that actually very little has come out about, although there is enough. We do know some facts about it. We know it's going on. We know it's still going on. But this just shows you the level that they are willing to try and attack foreign citizens for publishing, for being a media organization.
Now, did you have any problems crossing the border yourself? Because I remember hearing something about very similar stories with lawyers advising you about some possible legal action just for standing up for these whistleblowers?
So the big issue for me with regards to crossing borders is actually obviously the US, but specifically with the UK, my home country. We have a very strange law. It's part of the Terrorism Act. It's called Schedule 7. It's what David Miranda, Glenn Greenwald's partner, was stopped under. And Schedule 7 basically takes away what you and I would see as normal rights, your right to silence, your right to a lawyer. it actually takes those away. You're forced to answer their questions. So if you deal in anything like publishing, journalism, source protection, you can't answer every question. When you have just spent 4 months with Edward Snowden and you work for Julian Assange, you can't, for the safety of other people's lives, for anonymous sources that you work with, answer all their questions, and you have no right to silence. The second you don't answer their question, you are committing a crime. And the very real fear from my lawyers in the UK, because there is an open terrorism investigation into the Snowden case within the UK, that I will be stopped under Schedule 7 at the border. I will refuse to answer questions, and I immediately commit a crime.
Wow. So that is an insane story within itself, which just violates basic human rights. And it's just incredible. But right now, you're fighting back with the Courage Foundation. I think what you guys are doing is very incredible, very awesome, very amazing. What are your hopes for it? What do you hope it accomplishes? And how can people help out?
I hope that we show the world, we show people that are thinking about blowing the whistle, that there are people that will stand up for you. So it's tough. Whistleblowers risk completely changing their lives, if not losing it. But I hope that we have shown that there is the ability for some levels of freedom. One of the big things for Snowden is he's able to partake in the debate that he started. This is actually a very important thing. He's not completely in prison. He may only have asylum in one country when he really deserves protection around the world. But there are opportunities, and so I hope that we have shown that there are people that will stick up for that, and so therefore other whistleblowers come forward. This is my greatest hope, that we have more Snowdens.
It's amazing that this is happening in East Berlin, but I want to thank you so much for all the hard work and dedication. The link will be in the description below of how people could help out, and check out Courage in the description below. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate that.